Hey everyone, welcome into another video. In this video we're going to take a look at another Ludwig snare drum, and this time it's a copper drum. Before we dive into a look at this drum, I just want to let you know I'm getting closer and closer by the day to 1,000 subscribers. So if you do enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, and that would mean a great deal. Thank you. So this drum actually came about from a trade. I had some, I think I had a kit advertised on eBay at the time, and the guy messaged me and said, I'm actually about an hour down the road. I've also got some gear for sale. Do you want to do a bit of a trade? So as it happened, he had this snare up for sale, and I've kind of dabbled in and out of copper snares, and I thought, actually, I really want to try another one. And at the time I was really on quite a Ludwig kick in general. So I wanted to see, what their take on a copper shell would be. I haven't had a huge amount of copper snares in the past, but I noticed with this one, it's definitely quite a lightweight drum. And despite all the sort of, the big lugs on here and things, I think it's probably quite a thin shell. I'm pretty sure it's seamless. Most of Ludwig's drums, at least the metal ones, are a seamless construction. And what I do like about this one, which is what they've started doing with their new drums as well, is it's got a raw finish to it. So it's definitely aging already. There's lots of patinas and nice colours coming through. I love drums that kind of age over time. So the more you play them, they're just going to kind of evolve and change. The throw off on here is the same sort of one that I used to have on an acrylite. And with that one, I had terrible issues with the tension detuning, so the snares would just become really loose. This one is definitely better, and I think that's because you've got the spring in there that keeps the tension on it, so as you tighten it, it's not just going to gradually slacken off. So yeah, it's not my most favourite snare throw off design in the world, but it's definitely functional. I would say this drum has a very rich character, verging on slightly dark as well. Like it's got a lot of harmonics and stuff, but at the same time, they're not bright and cutting. They're a bit more subdued. And it's kind of like an interesting alternative to brass, I would say. I've noticed with this drum that the overtones in here, they really don't take a lot of dampening to control them. So I find I often use just one of these small M1 snare weights here. Just put that on top and already it sounds pretty dry. But it does take away quite a lot of high end quite quickly with this drum. And again, I think because the copper is a darker tone, as soon as you dampen it, it gets kind of darker again. So it's almost like, I feel like once you find the tuning range where those overtones kind of sit right with the music that you're playing, then it's quite nice just to sort of leave it wide open. With brass drums, I feel I love the body and the projection, but I just find I always want to dampen them down a bit. Maybe they're just a bit bright to my ear. Whereas this, I actually quite like it being a bit more open, a bit more lively. So for the tuning range in this video, I've left the drum wide open. There's no muffling because I wanted you to hear the overtones and how they change as the tuning changes. Also with this drum, I've been dabbling a bit with trying not to get every lug like an even pitch. And as I've mentioned in other videos, I do try that anyway. But with this one, I found I got a little bit more richness in that kind of medium-high area by detuning the lug closest to me by like a half term. And then the ones kind of on, say, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I would bring those up kind of quarter of a turn. So I found I got like a little bit more body and a bit more bottom end out of it, but also kind of a bit more richness in the overtones. So I'd love to know what you think of this drum and whether you've played copper drums yourself. Do they have a place like in your collection? And do you think they're worth sometimes the extra price that's charged for them? If you enjoyed this video, a like on the video and a subscribe to the channel would really help, and I'd appreciate it a lot. So thank you if you decide to do that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.